Being a female, I don't have men. But when I came here, they are a male guy and they wanted to be, just the intentions are there. They just want to welcome you and greet you and give you a kiss on the cheek. But coming from a very conservative, we don't interact with men. We don't shake hands. We don't. You just stay away from them as much as you can. We were standing, all the girls were there, and I said to the girl next to me, very loud, I was very excited, and I said, "Oh, they got new chicks here." And all the girls looked at me, and I said to my friend, "What did I say? There's something wrong?" So the chicks mean here mean blinds. So you said, when you said the shutters or the blinds, everyone thought you were talking about the chicks. I said, no, I didn't say any chicks. I was just saying the blinds. The shutters are there, so they are.
I'll say something that's very tongue-in-cheek and they take it very literally and you say, no, I wasn't trying to offend you, I was just winking and nods of being silly. Us Brits, if we're going to do something, it gets done right now. And when someone here sort of says, I'm going to do it, it could mean today, it could mean tomorrow. So, yeah.
Having a limitation of English, I just thought the chicks means the same in Pakistani language, or in Australian language means the blinds. Because I have come from a very, very conservative family and very conservative country, so I find it was pretty hard for me to accept everything, how the drinking culture is here and how people hug each other. I never hugged my brother. We never hug. No, we don't do that because it's not part of the culture. So it's a lack of knowledge.
That I find that Australians are a lot more literal than Brits. We tend to say one thing and it can mean something very different depending on what the point we're trying to get across. We can be very sarcastic and use that. So we often say something very positive and mean negative, or vice versa. Whereas kind of Australians tend to say what they mean.
The Pakistani culture is very conservative, and I find it personally very hard sometimes because there is not much flexibility in that culture as compared to Australian culture. Is quite open and quite flexible with lots of other things. The females can work here, the female are encouraged to work here, they have equal rights, and people very respectful towards ladies. We more for the females to be very composed and demure and subdued and submissive, not for the men. They can just go and run around whatever they want. They can play cricket on the road. No one can stop it. They can swim. So as a personally, I don't know how to swim also, but I'm working on that, living in Australia for a long time. I wanted to learn how to swim too one day. But because of the background, I was never been taught. I was never been exposed to go in the water or to make myself bathe in the costume or something. So most of the people learn how to swim it, but mostly boys. And because it's more freedom for the boys. But still, I think communication is much more easier here than back home in Pakistan, because as I said, that if father or the husband or the man, he is the head of the family, he will make the decision and that's it. Okay. So,
yeah,
100%. It's over there, it's like male dominating society. So it would be like man is going to do and he's the head of the family. There's nothing wrong with that, but obviously it's gonna be take it into extreme level. The father is going to make the decisions and the lady or the wife would be like a second-rate citizen. So she won't be have that sort of freedom to say things or make decisions. And there's a close difference too, wearing the way you dressed up too. If I'm wearing, I would be cover my head and I would be wearing hijab and do this thing. The culture is also very different if you have expression of happiness and if you have expression of sadness. You both time just go and use the guns, or for an example, people are getting married and just go on the top of your roof and do Kalashnikov, and it means they're happy. And in 1998, they had their first McDonald's up there and KFC. So it's considered to be now very posh sort of thing. And having said that, now here in Australia, it's not considered to be that. It's like a fast food. But over there, you go into the McDonald's or KFC, people are wearing nice suits and they're dressed up, and it's like it's very expensive. And also they just charge them too expensive because it's come from overseas.
I think the two countries integrate very well together, which probably explains why there's a lot of people that move from one to the other.
Yeah.
The outdoor activities are more pronounced here because obviously it's got better weather for it.
Yeah.
But and there's more social groups rather than sort of hanging out on the street and things like that, which is that's the main difference. I think being in an area where there's the population's a lot more crowded, you kind of you have to kind of find your way amongst the many, and it does make you kind of a little bit more kind of forceful with what you want to do and how you deal with people. I think being so many people in such a very tight sort of space, here you have so much room and there's so few people, so it's kind of less stressful. But when there's so many people all the time, so for instance getting on a train and you're literally packed like sardines, it's, it can be very stressful, it can be very difficult, and it does kind of get people quite irate. And it's very ironic that there's so many people so close together, like we said, but nobody kind of speaks to each other anymore. So for instance, when you go into a shop or you get off a bus, people here tend to say good morning, thank you, etc. But in the UK, nobody says thank you, please, or anything anymore. It's eyes down and get on with it. It's just too much, too many people, and what have you. But Australia is more laid back, easygoing. I think people interact with each other a lot more here, and it's kind of a more neighbourly environment. I think it's kind of a bit like the UK was maybe kind of 30 years ago here.
I think Australia embraced all of the good things about good people, and especially with food. They like to enjoy, if someone is having kebabs from Middle East or something, why not? African food. And they enjoy it, and that's the kind of thing you don't need to go into that really get upset and be unhappy about anything. If you want to find happiness, you can be creative, and as the world is becoming like a global village. Now here I see them, they wanted to celebrate for anything, for Bastille Day, for Holi, Diwali, moon culture, like they have the moon for the Chinese thing, they have the moon cakes, comes up for that. Here I still dress up as modest, but I like to blend in. So definitely there's big thing, and it took me a lot more longer from 98 till 2016 to blend in, slowly integrate it. That was very common for the boys. They would just go and play, run around, bike riding. I never learned how to do the bike riding. For the first time when I came to Australia, I learned how to do a bike ride in Centennial Park. Yes, that was really good. So I went to the Centennial Park and started riding. That was a very exhilarating and very much freedom for me, because I've never ride a bike, and it was not acceptable in Pakistan to ride a bike or just being independent, because it's all male dominating society. So I've learned how to drive a car now here, and I'm still on my peak later. I wanted to do it full 1 day license. I think I take it personally that it is funny, and it is, if you take it really that is embarrassing, and you just laugh on that and you learn about that. You don't forget that, but how you take it as a positivity and take it into twist into a different way of doing things. So obviously I don't remember that one. I remember the looks of the girls, but I remember that is the blonde. That is so weird, isn't she?
The main difference we've found here is the attitude towards children is different. So children are encouraged to be children for longer here, which is something that we're very much in favour of. They're encouraged to, to dress more like children, act more like children. So, we've more accepted the culture here more than the other way around, I think. Okay. Pretty much we just moved from one to the other. It's been very much the same. Like I say, I've had to be a little bit more careful how I say things sometimes. but yeah, I think usually if you kind of give people the hint with a big smile or something, they usually get the joke. Yeah. And I give as good as I get, so yeah. I think we're fine. Yeah, no, it's not been hard at all. Again, I think that's to do with there's a lot of Brits living in Australia, and I think as long as you kind of join in with everybody else and you become part of the community and you give back, I think we've been very welcomed.